Physicals and vaccines are an annual part of getting kids back to school, but it's also a good time to remember that vaccines aren't just for kids. Grown-ups need them too. August is National Immunization Awareness Month, and Dr. Bradley Hupp from Gulf Coast Medical Group is here to tell us how to stay healthy as adults. Welcome, doctor.
Thank you.
So we still occasionally hear people speaking out against vaccines. Are all vaccines safe?
Absolutely. You know, vaccines have been around for hundreds of years. They were invented back in the 1700s, I think, and so we've got, you know, hundreds of years of studies on vaccinations and research and scientific methods, and so we have currently the safest vaccinations that we've ever had in the United States and worldwide.
So when we think about adults, we don't have somebody checking every 2 years if we need a booster of this or a booster of that. Why are they still medically necessary for adults?
Well, there's still deadly diseases out there that, you know, that we can get, we're susceptible to. Our body is an amazing thing. We can fight off lots, but there's still diseases that can kill us, very severe diseases. I mean, there's still thousands of people in the United States dying of diseases that we could prevent just with a simple booster shot. And so, you know, I'm young enough that I don't remember back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, in my parents' and grandparents' time when they had these deadly diseases, you know, mumps, measles, polio. I mean, people were dying of these. I mean, they were epidemics. I mean, we don't have those now, and largely just because of the vaccines. I mean, they're so successful. I mean, we're saving, I think, 20 million lives worldwide every year because of vaccines. That's a lot of people that are being saved because of simple vaccinations.
You know, it's a good point, because I remember my dad telling stories about, and I can't remember whether it was mumps or measles, where you had to be in the dark for a very long time. Like, you know, like just things that we don't even think about, right?
Right.
Who gets that? But, you know, people did.
And are, you know, the lack of vaccines, are we seeing some of those diseases come back?
Yeah, I mean, we've almost eliminated polio. I mean, we don't see polio much anymore. Smallpox has pretty much been eradicated from our world. But there are other diseases that are still out there. We still hear about outbreaks of measles. Whooping cough is a big one that's been going, kind of picking up, back in the news. So it really brings us, we should be thinking about, you know, getting our booster shots. And, you know, now that we're back to school with the kids, this is a good time to start thinking about, you know, getting your kids' immunizations up to date, and then our own, too.
Do adults and children have different needs?
Absolutely. You know, the kids are probably the most important, the babies and the kids, because their immune systems are the weakest. And so they're the ones that need those those booster shots to kind of help their immune systems. But as we get older, we still need boosters for different things. We need things like tetanus shots.
Yeah, I think we have a list of things we want adults to be aware of.
Yeah, there we go. You know, tetanus shots. Every 10 years we should get a booster on our tetanus shots. Flu shots every season. You know, we have the flu season that changes every year. So flu shots are every year. As we get older, pneumonia shots. The elderly people are really susceptible to things like pneumonia, so they'll need a pneumonia shot. And then a shingles is another vaccine to prevent a disease from shingles.
Who knew you can get vaccinations for some of those diseases, though? Because, you know, you think of well, you know, the flu, but, you know, shingles, who knew, you know, or
yeah, or pneumonia is one I
just think about pneumonia.
For travel, that's what I really, I don't ever think about getting it for preventative measures here, but if we go to a country that's...
Yeah. And there's an expression that, you know, borders can't protect us from diseases. I mean, we can eliminate these diseases in the United States, but you cross a border, they've got these diseases right there that we could still get. I mean, worldwide, there still is polio, and there still is other diseases that we still could encounter. So.
What about, you know, when we were all young, we had to take some of the same vaccinations. Are they still in our system, or do we have to redo those?
Yeah, good question. Well, you know, when we're young, we get a basic set of immunizations that protects us from about 14 different diseases. And those will generally protect us for a lifetime. But as we get a little older, we do need like a booster for tetanus, which is we call DPT, tetanus, pertussis, and diphtheria. And then flu shots every year, and then as we get older, a pneumonia shot.
But it's good to know that initial set, since those of us who don't want to go get shots, we're safe from those anyway.
Talk to your doctors, get can and find out what shots that you've had and what you might need, and it's a good place to start.
All right, and flu season just around the corner, so if you have any questions about vaccines or any other medical issues, you can find Dr. Hupp and his team at GulfCoastMedicalGroup.net. All right, coming up next, back to school means big bucks for the economy. We'll talk about it in Money Matters.